everyone, and welcome to episode 141 of the Holding Court podcast. Today, we're chatting about how we're settling into our new home in Chicago, something Justin noticed around the city, and we'll check in with how the season is going so far. All coming up right now on Holding Court.
Bum 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 bum.
Hello.
Sorry, I was getting settled.
Are you settled now?
I think so.
Okay, good.
I'll probably be a little more fidgety. I haven't had coffee yet today.
Wouldn't you be more fidgety with coffee?
In theory, yeah, but I need my coffee to
to lock in. Okay.
So.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's wild. Actually, I looked at the calendar. Well, I look at the calendar every day, but we're about to be in June. So we've officially been in Chicago for almost 2 months now. I guess when you take out all the travel, probably like a solid month of actually being here. But you are picking up on some Chicago things or some, I guess, Midwest things. And one of my favorites is the stoop sitting.
Everyone loves a good stoop sit in Chicago. It's great.
They do. And for those of you that are not familiar, so your steps in front of your house or I guess condo apartment, people have like little patio areas too. And I guess that doesn't really count as a stoop, but there's a lot of outdoor sitting.
Are these considered like brownstone type housing or?
Some of them are,
houses?
yeah.
It's interesting because
a lot of brick in Chicago for sure.
Yeah, especially in our neighborhood. And I mean, driving around, it's pretty much everywhere. Like, I think everywhere here has basements, but it's not just like down from the ground. Like you park on the street and you go up 5 or 6 stairs to get to the first floor. So like street level kind of splits the basement in half, really.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but yeah, stoops everywhere. People sitting out there, whether they're smoking a heater, sitting with their dogs, reading a book,
doing work on the laptop,
listening to music, working. We've seen it all. Watching their kids. Yesterday there was someone sitting on the stoop with the 2 dogs watching their little kid try to practice jump roping.
Yeah, I've seen the chalk drawings already out now that the weather's turning. And I think we talked about it last time or maybe a previous episode, but just the weather here and the difference of appreciation for the really good days. I think in LA, and I'm sure there's all these debates of like, you know, Midwest versus LA and weather and all that and different seasons. And I think here you definitely have, and growing up here, you have an appreciation when it's a nice day. And you almost kind of bend the truth of what like a nice day is. It'll be 52 now and sunny and like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful out. It's perfect.
Compared to the last 4 months, it's great.
And it'll be a little chilly, but you get out for the walk. And these Chicago babies, I'm telling you, Bo needs to toughen up. And he actually is. He actually loves the cold.
He loves the cold.
Oddly, but these babies are out in their onesies, their little t-shirts, whatever. They're strolling around our neighborhood and they're tough. They're tough and get tough living here, but love a good stoop sit. I
think you hit it on the head though with the weather. Like when it's a nice day, it like motivates you to get up, get out of bed. You don't want to waste the nice day. You want to get out and about and, take advantage of it. Where in LA, where we spent a lot of time, every day's a nice day. So you kind of take that for granted.
Yeah. And when there is a crappy day, you're like, oh my gosh, rain. And you realize
what are we going to do for a whole day?
few and far between to have the bad weather day. But here you want to get out, you want to get up on like the walking. We have this really nice walking bike path that's like elevated over the neighborhood and it's dogs and bikes and
strollers,
kids, and everyone scooters out there. And everyone's getting after it. So there's a different, motivation to get out and enjoy it, go to the park, and just appreciate the sunshine. And I think that's definitely been one of the biggest takeaways from being here so far.
Have you had a stoop sit yet?
I have. It's really relaxing, but I'm a creep. I'm a people watcher, so I could sit out there and just watch. I love sitting. I love a good window seat at a restaurant too. There's a little cafe that I've been very into, and I love that this seat that's just parked right in front of the window is always available because I could sit there all day and just watch people walk by. So
I wonder, I mean, I know obviously in LA, COVID created a dining culture of like outdoor seating at restaurants, but I feel like it was kind of a thing already in Chicago even before COVID, or is it even more prevalent now?
I think that is one of the good, I say it all the time, the good thing, one of the good things that came out of COVID was the outdoor dining. There was always outdoor seating, and it was always that exciting moment when people would open up the outside for their restaurant, and you knew that that was the signal that, you know, the good spring weather was here, summer was coming.
Right.
But I think it's definitely like more prevalent now for sure. But I love sitting outside. I don't know. Maybe it adds to my creeping of people walking by, but I think that's one of the good ones. And yeah, I feel like it was one of the first good days here, just walking around the neighborhood, seeing people sitting outside like on their laptop, getting work done. And I don't know. I love people like watching people do yard work here. I feel like it's like a big thing to take like pride in your yard, and like the kids are helping. And it was funny. It was like dad and son the other day, like pulling weeds. And then the daughter was like just doing like chalk drawings on the sidewalk. And it was really sweet this past weekend, but I don't know.
It is something in the Midwest that you don't really see in LA. Like, and we talked about this yesterday, is, you know, people go out and do their own lawn here, which is, you just don't see it very often in LA.
Yeah.
Like people out like, oh, you walk around on a Sunday morning and you see the lawnmowers out and the headphones on and people getting after it. Or the other weird thing here too.
In the lawn mowing shoes. Like the dads have like the pair of lawn mowing shoes here, and it's like a big sense of pride of doing it.
I was about to say the weird thing, but it's not weird at all. It's really cool. The like street side where in LA we have grass, right? Here, most houses have like planter boxes and like gardens. And so you'll see a lot of people on the weekend too out working on their gardens, planting their flowers, pulling weeds, watering stuff, which is really cool too.
I have a theory that the elevated planter boxes are just so dogs can't.
I know. I
like go to the bathroom.
Literally was like, dang, that's what we should have done in LA. Like we should have put a planter box and we could have had flowers and whatever.
And then blocked it.
But I feel like the dogs will still pee on the bottom, on the wood, on the base of it.
Oh yeah. You see the corner.
It doesn't matter.
Fully
There's no
rusted
stopping
out.
it. There's no stopping it.
Well, all of this like positive fluffing of Chicago and our neighborhood and all of that, there's something that you keep getting really frustrated by. And it's kind of funny when we're driving home from the game or just driving anywhere. I don't drive too much. I pretty much walk in our neighborhood, but we're driving to the game. So I think that's when we notice it the most.
So I think we touched on this a little bit before. Like the traffic here isn't that bad. It's almost leaving the stadium is more foot traffic, like waiting for people to cross the street. Because a lot of people either take the train or walk or, you know, park, you know, there's not really parking lots around Wrigley. So you park in neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the traffic is more waiting for like pedestrians to cross streets. However, you know, we don't take a freeway home. We take all streets and through neighborhoods and whatever. And I mean, I don't think anyone really takes a freeway or a highway home that lives here. But my biggest pet peeve so far, and it drives me nuts, is Ubers, Lyfts, and like Postmate drivers or Uber Eats drivers. They put on their hazards and they stop in the middle of the street. They don't pull over, even if there's room to pull over.
There'll be a perfect spot. And I love a good parallel park job. I can coach anyone if anyone needs help. It's something, and they don't even attempt it.
It is just so crazy. Like there's already a ton of traffic and they just literally stop in the middle of the road and throw on their hazards, and they'll wait for like 3 minutes for their Uber passengers to come walking down the road and jump in the car. And you're like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like these are, you know, 2-lane streets, right? They're only made too wide for cars to go by. So when you stop and put on your hazards in the middle of the road, like what are we doing? Like pull over or pull up a little further to where you can pull over, or even on the corners. Like even when these Ubers are pulling up on the corners, they don't pull over to the corner. They just stop at the stop sign, and people are jumping in like at the stop sign. I'm like, what is happening? Like,
I hope they're listening to this.
This is my pet peeve. That I love everything that about the city so far, and we've had an amazing time so far. But that's the one thing that really drives me nuts.
Really grinds your gears.
It really grinds my gear. Like pull over. Like you can't just turn your hazards on and stop in the middle of the street. The other thing I noticed is like cop car, like when police officers pull someone over here, they also stop in the middle of the road.
It's a free for all.
They don't pull over. The car pulls over, but the cop stops in the middle of the road. So then it's a huge traffic thing as well.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a safety thing to like signal that I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways,
I hope all of the Uber and whatever drivers of the city are tuning in.
That's my one pet peeve.
Justin, we can do a weekly what grinds your gears segment.
I don't know if I'll be able to come up with something every week. Like that's like the one thing. I don't know if there's anything else here so far that. I mean, everything's been so cool. I mean, I do feel like we are like almost settled, which is crazy because we, like you said at the beginning, like it's June.
It's wild.
Like this thing is flying, and we're still trying to like. I still have a couple like curtains to hang in the room, and
you gotta hang them.
Still getting. We're almost fully settled, like, and it's gonna be nice once we are. But it's like, man, we're already 2 months into the season. We're still trying to get everything together. It's just there's no time.
It goes by so fast, and I feel like I look at the season in like away series and homestands and all that, and it's goes by fast. Like we had that long one that was, I want to say we're home for like 11 or 12 days. And it just, I was like, oh my gosh, we're home forever. And then I blinked and we were already packing to go on the road again. Yeah. And now you have another one coming up, a 3-city, which is also wild to go DC, Detroit, then back to Philly. That one's going to feel probably like the longest series of the season, I would say. But
that's going to be a long one. But I think this is technically a semi-long homestand. We have a full week with an off day in there.
Yeah.
And then I think when we come home, we have a long one. I think it's like 11 or 12 days.
Yeah.
With an off day. So
yeah,
I appreciate that. And the cool thing about here is, you know, on the weekends you play all day games. So it makes the homestand feel longer because you're spending more time at home after games than normal.
It feels almost like an off day, like a half day. Because normally your whole day, like you're leaving to go to the field around, I mean, you play a 6:40, whatever.
We play at 7:10 tonight, and I'll be leaving at 12 to go to the field.
Right.
So,
but then when you have those early games, you're in early, but then you're out early. Like I think the game was fast yesterday against the Rockies, the first game.
No, it was really fast.
And we were out of there by 4 something. We're already on our way home.
Well, the thing is it's a day game, right? Like, so usually I go 6 or 7 hours before, but if the game's at 1, I'm not rolling in at 4 a.m.
I think you should. When does the clubhouse open for a 1:20 game?
I think like 8 or 8:30.
And there's probably, I mean, you're not far after, but there's probably guys that are waiting at the door almost, right? Like routine guys that need that.
Yeah, there's guys that get in early. But
I
was talking to counsel about this a little bit. It's kind of like all the day games at Wrigley. It's kind of like advantageous to us because it's so many games that we aren't spending, you know, hours on the field doing early hitting, doing early defense, doing batting practice. Like all that stuff over the course of 162 kind of, you know, adds up to those dog days of August that everyone talks about. But with all the day games that we play at home, you know, we're spending half as much time on the field as every other team. So technically, like,
a little more fresh.
out of like physicalness, it's probably an advantage for us.
Yeah.
Now it could be a disadvantage because we are spending less time on the field, but our guys have been so good at getting out and getting their work in and like quality, not quantity. You go out, you get your 10, 15 good ground balls, make your throws, and then get back inside. But
using the time like in a smart way,
right.
Utilizing it.
But it's also been cold, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see once the weather gets better if it kind of stays that way, or like short, crisp work, get off the field in day games, or if guys are getting out there more.
Yeah. And I do want to talk a little about a few games. We haven't been on here for a couple of weeks, so it is good to be back. But you mentioned the weather. We have to talk about that night where there was this wild dust storm fog situation that was happening.
Gosh, it was crazy.
And what that was like from the field perspective. It was a little ominous. So being there, I think that night I sat down the left field line, like almost in the left field corner. And I thought there was a fire, or they were doing some sort of like a burn off of something. And it just kept...
It was just the clouds
floating our way. Yeah. And we realized, okay, it's fog and cloud, but it looked crazy on TV because I was getting texts from people saying, what's happening with the weather over there? But I feel like I've been to probably, 50 games at Wrigley before the season. And I don't know if I've ever experienced that. I've experienced the fog driving in Indiana growing up, and that's not fun when you can't even see the car in front of you and you try to put your flashers on, but until you're about to kiss the bumper of the car in front of you, you truly cannot see anything. It's really scary, but just a different experience at Wrigley.
That was that the Marlins? I think we were playing the Marlins. But I
don't remember.
I think I was playing that game, and I asked like Hap or maybe Dansby. I was like, hey, have you ever been fogged out of a game? Because there was a little bit of anxiety, like, man, I hope no one hits like a pop-up, like on the infield.
Right.
If it goes up, like, good luck seeing it.
I know. And just like a safety thing. Like you always worry about playing in the shadows, and you guys have had some funky game times and situations already where I'm like, okay, don't love this, but that was a whole different thing.
You know what it felt like? It felt like when you're in Milwaukee on defense and they hit a homer and they light off the fireworks inside. Which
is, I always feel like someone forgot that the roof is closed, right, and it should not be happening, and they still do it.
And then for like an inning and a half, there's just like fireworks smoke everywhere, and you're like, what are we doing? Yes. Like, come on. Can't we just let Bernie slide down the slide and be cool with it? Like, really?
I know. It's honestly, I feel like someone dropped a ball in there, and I don't think this should be happening indoors.
Dude.
I don't know how that passes.
Crazy.
Midwest and their fireworks, I'm telling you. It's a whole nother thing. It's already starting. It was the day.
Oh, Navy Pier.
Navy Pier started on Saturday, but before, theirs are at 10, which is very, very late. I guess they want it to be very dark over the lake, but they've been going off all weekend. So.
It's not getting dark till like 8:40 already.
Yeah, I love it.
Wild.
That long day.
Yeah.
And that same series, I know it feels like it's probably been forever, but your walk-off situation was insane. And I guess want to hear how that felt playing at Wrigley with the crowd so into the games, and you've talked about it in a bunch of interviews, but I know how I felt, and it was insane. I was in those same seats down the left field line. You came into the game. I think you subbed in the seventh inning. Yeah.
No, it was wild. That was definitely against the Marlins.
Yeah.
Down 2 runs going in the 9th, and I think Carson led off and with an infield single, and then Dansby drew a walk, and then Nico got the knock, and then I came up. Just a good situation to, try to tie the game. And I ended up pulling a ball down the left field line, and Nico scored from home. And if you haven't seen it, just don't watch the replay of me or for me hitting, but watch the replay of Nico running around third base. It's absolutely hysterical.
It was his birthday.
It was his birthday. He was going crazy. Like, before he even touched third base, he was like celebrating as he was running full speed. He's so fast.
It was hilarious.
And he's got perfect like running form. Like, his head doesn't move at all. It's like perfectly still. And he's like, yeah, just watch it. It's pretty good.
It's like the Tom Cruise videos of him running in the trailers for his movies.
But it was It was great. I think it was a big relief for me with how much I'd struggled early in the year.
Yeah.
And to be able to come through, deliver, I think it was my first extra base hit of the year, walk off.
I know. I was thinking, okay, you touch second, but then on the Jumbotron, they always do like the recap, the winning pitcher, losing pitcher, save, and then, the highlight of the game. And it said up there, it said Turner walk-off single. And I thought, he reached second. We're gonna have to challenge that. And then I went online and it actually showed double. And I was...
The important things, right?
I mean, I was happy for the win, but also like, you gotta, come on.
No, it was a big relief because obviously this team is pretty special and they've been doing offensively historic things, right? The runs we're scoring, the way we're scoring them.
The end of the game, you really never think. I mean, it's funny watching the game and you see the score of it'll be 6-2 and it's the 7th inning. And normally you're like, okay, fans are probably, okay, I can turn the TV off and go to bed. No, not this season. And it started in spring training, really. Like all the crazy late comeback wins and it's just kept going. And I feel like you guys really are never out of it. And you just wait and see in what way you guys are going to try to come back in the game and win.
It's crazy. I think yesterday there was a stat, and if you count, or 2 days ago, a stat came out, and if you count yesterday, I think we scored in the 6th inning. In the last 10 games, we've scored 54 runs in the 6th inning or later, and we've only allowed 3 runs. So it's just a testament to, one, how good our offense has been. I mean, 5.4 runs a game in the last 4 innings is crazy.
Right.
But also like tipping the hat to the bullpen and only giving up 3 runs in those last 4 innings. And even when we're losing in games, they're holding it down and they're giving the offense an opportunity to play catch up and come back.
Yeah.
And giving, guys opportunities to be heroes and have big swings and do really cool stuff. So beginning of the year, I know there was, bullpen kind of was trying to find their stride and, people were saying some bad things, but if you were those people talking about the bullpen early in the year, like please give them their kudos because they've been outstanding.
I always say that's why we play 9 innings. Well, I don't have a mouse in my pocket, but I always say that's why they play 9 innings because if you it's like Twitter, X, whatever it is, my love-hate with that app. I mean, it will bring me like to my knees laughing, crying sometimes over tweets.
Most of the time.
And then other times it's just obscene. But even these because I deleted the app off my phone, so I couldn't go to it for a couple weeks just to try to get my head right. Not like run away crying. But the last couple games you guys have been down, it is so funny. It's like, well, guys, this has been a fun season. We'll see you next year. Like here, the woes of May at Wrigley, whatever. And I just want to say they play 9 innings for a reason. They play 162 games for a reason. And I don't know, the people leaving the game early, even for your walk-off, we were sitting down there and there were a ton of people around us and a few people were like, all right, we're going to head out. And you almost think about those people right after that and think, oh my gosh,
they missed it.
Yeah. They're in their car, they're heading home. And obviously people have to get home for reasons, kids, work, whatever. But
right.
This has been a little run here where you probably want to keep tuning in until the end of the game, at least.
Yeah. I mean, X is funny. I think Cubs fans have been amazing and they've been so good and so supportive and they're there every night and they're going crazy and we definitely feed off that energy, but there's a whole nother level of Cubs fans on social media and they ride
the wave. They're on the roller coaster and they feel it deeply and it's funny and you guys are crushing it. It's always funny on teams and it's every team and every fan base. Like you guys could be in first place. And I feel like unless someone hits a grand slam every inning and there's 0 run, there's a perfect game. Like someone's going to be calling for something to happen, someone to be DFA'd, someone to be traded, something to whatever, like just call the season now. And it's just, you kind of have to laugh and it's funny and it's happened probably for decades and decades. And now people have this platform to share these feelings and for them to be seen by the masses. So yeah. I don't know. You have to just kind of laugh at it.
I mean, at some point when you just read this same few people over and over again, you're like, okay, this is satire. They're just saying stuff to get attention and like,
I know,
whatever.
It cracks me up. I do want to ask a little about your first Crosstown Classic, playing against the White Sox. I wasn't there.
No,
I didn't go. I was worried I was going to go in a Sox jersey instead, so I just stayed home. No, I was traveling and I missed it. It's hard. Like the Sox right now, they're just going through it, so it doesn't have that same feel. I still feel like they were good games, but it's just different.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard with where they're at right now and what they're going through. Like you said, obviously the rivalry, it will always be a rivalry, and it'll always be for the pride of Chicago, for the fans. But it's just hard when they're in the position that they're in. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still baseball. We still got to go out and play. We still got to go out and try to figure out a way to win games. And anything can happen in baseball, no matter who you're playing. So
that's the
it's
thing,
not like you can take it for granted. Yeah.
And everyone talks about, the rest of the schedule. The Cubs have the easiest schedule now, and it's like, no, that you can't even think about that, because every game and every night is the same, and they're still trying to do the same thing you guys are trying to do. And I feel like it always has happened in seasons past where you like see a series, you're like, we can, some guy, or I don't know, maybe think, like we have this in the bag. Like we can phone it in, we can kind of let our foot up the gas, and they're going to try 10 times harder in that situation. And those seem to be the losses over the years in your career where fans are like, wait, we're losing to this team. And I feel like that probably plays into it a little bit, right?
100%. Yeah. And that's you can talk about schedule, strength of schedule, whatever. I know our first month and a half was
all 500
the hardest
plus teams
schedule in baseball, yada, yada, yada. And now we're moving on to this part of it. But I mean, it's ridiculous. They're all major league. They're all Major League Baseball players. They're all very capable of going out and putting together good at bats and putting together good outings. And so you can't play the name on the chest on the other side of the jersey. We gotta keep going out and playing our game and doing things the right way and playing hard and creating runs in all the different ways that we create runs, and playing great defense like we have, and the rest will take care of itself. But you can't just sleepwalk through parts of the schedule because you think you're playing bad teams. That won't end well.
Yeah, I agree. Well, before we go, I do want to talk about something that's been going viral on TikTok, and we have to have a moment for your TikTok that was taken from you. So I don't know how you look like you're
I don't know what we're talking about.
Your TikTok, it was hacked.
Oh, my TikTok.
I mean, that's not what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to maybe have to explain something a little more to you. I don't know. You've probably seen it.
Okay.
But your TikTok was hacked. I don't know who it was. They took over. They unfollowed me, which was just flat out rude. Yeah. They follow 3 people, but I can't see who they are. So you're trying very hard to try to get your account back. So
TikTok, help, rescue me.
I know, at TikTok. Please help Justin. I'll say something, or I'll send you a video.
Support_US at TikTok. Like, please respond.
But there's someone, a dynamic duo that's been taking over TikTok, and it is a 29-year-old, I believe he is, who decided to sail. Have you seen this? You've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram.
Okay. So see, you're still kind of hip. And see, I don't scroll TikTok, and everyone will say, are you going down this rabbit hole on TikTok? I need to get better. I post on there, but I don't deep dive on there like I need to. And
Please
I think
don't start.
Well, I go on Instagram and everyone says, "Oh, that's what old people do."
You don't need to start.
That's the later trends.
No, you don't need to start doing dives on TikTok.
Okay. Well, anywho, so this guy Oliver and his cat, he was working. I don't know if he worked for like Discount Tire or some tire company for 11 years. He was diagnosed. I think it was something he had at birth, but he was recently diagnosed with a health condition that has a risk of him becoming paralyzed. And he's already feeling some of those symptoms of like limited mobility. He wasn't happy in his job, and he taught himself to sail. He said mostly watching YouTube videos, which is incredible, and quit his job. He like liquidated his retirement and bought a sailboat for $50,000 online and fixed it up. And he set out to sail from Oregon to Oahu, I think it was, in Hawaii. Brought his cat Phoenix.
Well, I think his plan is to sail all the way around the world. I think Oahu was just the first stop, right?
Yeah, he said, so it took him 24 days and he was documenting everything along the way. And people were just, I was amazed by having service, but he said he was like video conferencing his friends and being able to post. But he said he made it, but he said his next stop, he wants to go to like the French Polynesia, but he said he wants to just like hang out and snorkel for a month. And I don't know, I think it resonated with a lot of people, his story. And he just was not loving corporate America. And I think with his health condition, he just thought, like, I'm not happy. And
he felt stuck.
Yeah. And I freaking love it. Like, I thought it was so cool. I did feel he was super overwhelmed. You could tell when he made it in. Did you see the video where he walked into like
No.
Okay. So he got there and he walks into like this Waikiki yacht club and all these people are waiting. And you could tell he's like, wait, I've just been alone for 24 days. Right. Like, he looked a little uncomfortable with all the attention, but obviously rightfully so. He's got 4 million followers now and like millions of views on every single video. Yeah. But he was probably like, whoa, this is a lot of attention. And it's really cool. And I think obviously not everyone, he's 29, like, you know, isn't married, doesn't have kids. Not everyone can just like
pick up and
throw it out the window and just go sailing around the world. But I think that story of going for something that you want to do and taking that risk and like making that leap was what resonated with a lot of people. And that's why I think it got as many views. And I think he's going to continue to just go crazy on social media with people watching his journeys.
And clearly, like, I mean, it wasn't his purpose to do this, but he's going to end up monetizing the shit out of his TikTok.
Oh, his YouTube.
He's going to end up making way more money than he ever made at Discount Tires. And
yeah, but doing what he loves. So it's crazy. I mean, to find that, that space and that, I don't know. And I think just his personality, like, you can see he's so genuine and like so pure. So I think that's why it worked. Like, watching his videos, like, you could tell he was genuinely loving it. He said he has some repairs to make on his boat, which with his YouTube checks that are rolling in, I'm sure he'll be able to do those. And then, yeah, he said he's going to take a couple weeks and then.
Okay, I got a question for you.
I don't know if I have an answer. I feel like I gave you all of my Oliver and Phoenix knowledge.
As a avid, and we've talked about this before, was it Naked and Afraid?
Naked and Afraid.
Watcher, you think your survival rating is
my PSR.
Your PSR is like crazy. What do you think Oliver's PSR is after he just sailed for 27 days by himself in the ocean?
He said he felt a little guilty that he had access to like modern technology. Basically, he was like, he said he like. I don't know if it was guilty, but just, I wasn't exactly doing this like our, like ancestors did back in the day. But I would say
still, like, how many people are jumping on a boat and sailing to Hawaii and making it? Like,
he was sunburned and he like had to figure out like food and all that. But like, I don't know. I would say I'm going to give him like an 8.2.
8.2, that's pretty high for all the gadgets, though.
He did say he looked around and he would just see like this like glass water all the way surrounding him and nothing. And he said that was the most surreal feeling.
Well, yeah.
But like, he didn't get like overrun by like pirates or like shark, but he could have. But I don't know. I think he was able to like bring food. I think it's just, I'm going to put him up there because I think he's savvy and he can figure it out. He taught himself to sail on YouTube. So I give him an 8.4.
I think
I don't know what it would have started at and what he started at like a 7.6 and he went up to an 8.4. That's pretty high. I don't know if a lot of people have an 8.4. Maybe I'm giving.
That's pretty high for all that technology because the whole like
I don't
catch of the
like
show is you get one tool, right? Like this guy had a whole boat full of stuff.
I think I would bring chapstick, it's like SPF impressive. Chapstick on my Naked and Afraid.
Like, did he not bring like sunscreen, or maybe he doesn't believe in sunscreen? Maybe sunscreen bad. I know a lot of people think that. So.
No, I don't. I think he had. I don't know. We have to deep dive more onto TikTok when you get your account back and find out more about Oliver.
Gosh, I don't think it's happening.
No, I think it will.
I think it's gone forever.
No, don't say that. That's actually like, I don't even want to put it out in the universe. It's scary. It's a scary thought.
It is.
All that hard work. I mean, TikTok was kind of your secondary social. I don't want to say that if the TikTok execs that can get your account back. He loves TikTok. Please help us. This is my plea.
I'll get on it. I'll do it more.
But it's fine. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. A friendly reminder to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We're also on YouTube, so you can watch the episodes there as well. But as always, we love reading your ratings, your comments, your feedback. Send it all our way. Are you phoning? Are you done for the day? You're off to work?
No, I'm just getting ready to sign out. I'm ready to sign out.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bum 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 bum.